today's presentation is going to give you a little bit of everything. We got 45 minutes, so I can't do it all. But what we're essentially going to do is kind of go over the individual athlete first and the drills that we use and what we're teaching. And then we're going to show you how that then gets to a bigger picture, kind of an offensive concept. Over the years, I've had tons of coaches say, my kids go to your clinics, they learn how to ISO better, they're learning so many moves, but now all they want to do is ISO and they're like a black hole. And then I say to them, okay, well, you have to coach also. You got to teach them your offense. You got to like show them when and where the ISO happens or when and where the dodge is, okay? A couple of things that I say, just to kind of give you an idea of like my philosophy, where I'm coming from. Offensively, okay, I just did a clinic yesterday, 30-some girls, okay? My high school program, I'm in my 7th season. We went from a no-name program to a state-ranked program, one of the best teams in the state. We have 30 college commits in 6 years, 20 of them are Division I. I work with a lot of college coaches, college programs, college athletes, pro athletes, guys and girls, okay? So the reason that I work with all of them is because what we do is somewhat unique, okay? The reason we started this is I'm a longtime U.S. Lacrosse Convention attender. I've spoken and presented there 7 times, and I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I realized that we're still going to dodging clinics, and we're still going over the same 3 dodges that my dad taught me 20 years ago, right? The game has evolved, okay? So I'll even ask you guys, why don't we name some of the dodges you know? What are all the dodges? Face dodge. Rocker, yeah. Rocker step, but I'll give you that one. Split dodge. Split dodge, what else? Roll dodge, what else? Anybody else got any more? What are another dodge your kids learn? So we got to 4. Anything else? A bull dodge, I like that. It's old school. It's one of my favorites. 5. We have 5 dodges. So based on what we're learning, there are not just 5 moves in lacrosse. We do not just have 5 options, okay? But when we go to these dodging clinics, we learn some version of those 5 things, okay? When we talk about it, for instance, a split dodge, you could have the nastiest split dodge in the world, but if you don't understand space and time, it's irrelevant. People have a really good split dodge, they get way too close to their defender, get de-sticked in the boys' game. In the girls' game, we get that little click-clack and the ball goes flying or they get contact, okay? So the dodging itself, the move, that's great, need to learn it, okay? But space and time is more important, but also understanding how to have range in our game is huge, okay? Why do we talk about range in our game, okay? In my experience, based on last year, most of the top 20 D1 coaches are recruiting 2 defenders per class. 2 total defenders per class. That's from my conversations with Division I top 20 girls coaches specifically. Why is that? Because they can recruit 8 middies, and when they get there and they start actually working with them, they'll realize that, hey, you 3 don't actually have very much range to your game. You're a one-trick pony. And they become defenders. So imagine being a midfielder from this age all the way up, being one of the best middies on her club, high school, so on and so forth. She goes to her dream school, and then that coach makes her a defender because she actually has 1 move, okay? So for the girls' world, I make fun of this all the time. Girls can be very successful by pump faking and running hard at a young age. Then the defense gets better, and that one little move doesn't work anymore. And if you don't have any other range, you're a one-trick pony. So we want to make sure we change that and we have range to our game. That little pump fake may work today, but it might not work tomorrow. Okay, that little pump fake may work in the first quarter against that defender, but in the second quarter, we got a different defender on. We need to mix it up and do something different. So we're talking about that range in our offensive game today. Okay, what we'll do here is we'll kind of go over a real quick warm-up progression to show you some of the movement, and then we'll show you how we teach it individually, and then we'll take it to a bigger picture concept, okay? So what we'll do here is let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 come on up here. You guys can drop your sticks down there. No sticks for this. All right, let's come on up here. Let's go right here. Let's go 5 across. All 5 of you, and you're facing this way. Okay, this would be like a warm-up. Okay, this would be a warm-up I would do. The first thing we want to do is teach the movement and get them to understand they can do more. Because once we give them the stick and the ball, now they're worried about controlling the ball and cradling. Therefore, their movement suffers. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to say jog. Okay, you're going to jog from here to there, nice and slow, like literally like this. I'm moving like 1 square at a time. I'm barely moving upfield. See how I'm barely moving? Okay, every time I say go, we're going to work on a single step jab to the left. Okay, here's what I'm looking for. Okay, when we say jab to the left, okay, we want the person in front of us, the defender, we're trying to create reactions. We're trying to create a reaction or a false step out of our defender, which gives us advantage for space and time separation to get our hands free to feed, shoot, draw, double, whatever it is, okay? So when we're jogging here, you're gonna be nice and easy. Every time I say go, we're gonna jab to the left sideline. It's important for us to understand that this is not a footwork drill. So don't do this, okay? This would be a jab step. This is a one-step move. We don't wanna do that, okay? What we want is we're gonna talk a lot about our upper body shake, our head, our hands, and our shoulders, okay? Why are we gonna talk about our head, hands, and shoulders as much as our feet? If I'm playing defense on you, what should the defender be looking at? What should the defender be looking at? Hips? Who else said hips? Who here thinks hips is probably the top answer if we were doing like Family Feud? Raise your hands if defenders should look at hips. Okay, why do we think that? Hips don't lie, and because we've been told that. We've been told to look at hips, okay? But I bet you if you go back and watch video, I bet you if I'm covering her, you don't see the defender out here like this. Very rarely do we see that. Okay, what actually are some other options a defender might be looking at? Hips, head. I heard something over there. Shoulders. What else? Eyes. What did you say? Belly button. What else? I heard something. What was that? Stick, 100%. What else? The ball. Yep. What else? Maybe their feet. Where are their feet going? How are they setting up their feet? So we got like 9 things here that a defender might be looking at. We don't know what they're looking at. We need to make sure that all 9 of those things are moving though so that we can trigger reactions, okay? For instance, if I'm a defender and I'm a stick check heavy defender, if I like to look for stick checks and that's what my eyes look at is a stick, if I come up to you and I have great footwork and head, hands, and shoulders, but my stick stays here, did I move my defender? Because they're looking at what? Perfect example. So head, hands, shoulders, all that needs to work together. So as we do this warm-up, I want you guys to think about your head, hands, and shoulders, and everything should sell left. So when I do my jab step, which way does it clearly look like I'm going? Okay, if I go like this, I might not be looking left, or if I just do this. So when we work this, head, hands, and shoulders, okay? We talk about going from tall to small. We don't want to be a tall player and play tall. We want to get small. We want to drop our shoulders. We want to drop our hips, keep everything in line, good athletics here, and keep everything together. Our head, hands, and shoulders. All right, does that make sense? All right, here we go. Jog. Go. Keep going. Go. 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 All right, good. Now we'll turn around and we're going to go back. We're going to do the right side now. Okay, right side. Ready? Jog. Go. 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 All right, perfect. Ready? I'm going to have you guys do this one more time. Here's what I look at when I run this drill to make sure that my players are loose and they're working on their head, hands, and shoulders. I watch their hair. If their ponytail just sits in the middle of their shoulder blades, they're stiff upper body. They're not using everything. Okay, so ready? Jog. Go. 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 Good. All right, now, that's a one-step move. To me, that's basic athletics, any sport. Single step, single change of direction. If we take a one-step move, how many times can we change direction? If you take a one-step move, one step, one time. One step, one time. I can change direction one time with one step. So this is where most of young players are. One step move, single change of direction. Now we got to build up. We got to have a two-step. So it doesn't matter if you go left or right. We're going to get 1, 2, but I'm looking for head, hands, and shoulders. I don't want you to have a great first step and sell the left sideline and then come back to center and be lazy and squared. So we're going to sell left sideline, right sideline. If we have everything moving left to right, the defender has a more opportunity to bite on any of those actions, and now we're opening hips multiple times. All right, same drill, 2 steps, left, right, or right, left. Jog, go, 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 go. All right, good. So now here's what I'm going to do. Ready? I'm going to use you for example. All right, you're going to go back, do the same thing. Ready, jog. Go. Go. All right, freeze. See how wide we're stepping? I'm going to give you 2 words. You're all going to come back and do the same thing. You're going to go tighter, quicker. All right, go back. All 5 of you. Think tighter, quicker. So we don't want to be outside our shoulder frame. We're going to be tighter, and we're going to go quick, quick. Tighter, quicker. All right, that was programming. The first one was nice and easy. Now we want to go tighter, quicker. Jog. Go. Good. Go. 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 All right, good. Now we touch the ground twice. 1, 2. How many times can we change direction? Twice. We go here. They don't bite. We can go there. We got a second opportunity. Let's go to a 3-step now. Count in your head. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you get all 3 in. So that means 3 head, hands, and shoulders. 1, 2, 3. We want to get everything moving all 3 times. All right, does that make sense? Don't just do the footwork. Upper body shake. Ready? Jog. Go. 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 Good. What's the 2 words? Tighter, quicker. Ready? Here we go. Spread out a little bit. Same drill, tighter, quicker. Ready? Jog. Go. 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 All right, good. All right, now we're going to add a different pattern. We call it a skip step. A lot of your athletes do this. They may not have been taught it, but they do it. Okay, so they'll go into their dodge and they'll skip before they make their move. Okay, we want to work on that. We want to understand how it works, what it is, and train that. So all you're going to do from here to here is you're going to work on your skip step. Okay, so what I want you to think is right, right, left, left. Right, right, left, left. Here's how I do it. Right, right, left, left. Right, right, left, left. Right, right, left, left. Nice and easy, nice and comfortable. Ready, go. On your own, yep. Good job. All right, now here's what we're going to do. You're going to do skip, step, jab. Skip, step, jab. Okay? Skip, step, jab. Then you can reset. Skip, step, jab. Reset. Skip, skip, jab. All right, ready? Try that on your own. At your own pace. Good. All right, grab your sticks. All right, grab your sticks. All right, so that's just a warm-up. Okay, it's easier for them to learn with no stick, no ball. That's the variable. When we give them a stick and a ball, that's when they start worrying about possessing the ball. They're cradling. If they drop the ball, did I make a mistake? We don't want them worrying about that. We want them worrying about the movement, okay? So now here's what we're going to do now. That's just your warm-up to kind of progress and show that range, okay? So we just showed they have a 1-step move, they have a 2-step move, and they have a 3-step move. They clearly just demonstrated that. Whether they recognize that or not, they clearly can move that way. So if you were a 1-step dodger, you should also start working on a 2-step, 3-step, because you clearly just showed you can move that way. All right, does that make sense? So come on up. Yeah, you can have a ball, just we're not shooting hard, all right? So you're just gonna finish. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna do everything you just did in that drill. So let's start your line right here. Yep, start your line right there. You're gonna be nice and close. Obviously, we're not in an outside field. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Right, so yeah, we can't stand around and practice and do this all day, but we can do shooting drills and we can work it out like this, okay? So here's a progression, okay? So what you're gonna do is whoever's first, we got 1 cone, you're gonna work on a 1-step, okay? Then what did we do in the warm-ups? We went back to that nice easy jog. Now we get 2 cones, 2 steps. Back to that nice easy jog, and then you've got a 1, 2, 3, and then you can just jog and shoot, all right? Does that make sense? But we're not just doing footwork. Head, hands, shoulders, all right? Once she goes to the 3 cones, the next person can start. Go ahead, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good, so work on your 1, 2, 3, all right? 1, 2, 3. You could slow it down and get those 1, 2, 3 in. Yeah, you can shoot it. Go 1 time more, let's go 1 through, 1 more. Even if you don't have a ball, that's fine. Okay, so in this drill, right, you got kids working on the footwork, but I'm looking at head, hands, and shoulders mostly, all right, because a lot of people talk about footwork, do footwork, but the taking your upper body shake and matching it to your lower body is crucial, all right? Does that make sense? We don't just have good footwork and a stiff upper body, all right? So now, when we go through here, all right, these are general observations, all right? These are general observations that I see at all the millions of clinics that I do with all the people I work with, okay? When you guys go through, let's go one more time, okay? Everyone just go through one more time. All right, your stick position, let's bring that up nice and tight, all right? Don't hang that out to the side. Ready, go. Yep. Next one. Good, tighter stick. You got it hanging on your hip, bring it up tighter. All right, you can finish. All right, so here's one of my biggest pet peeves, okay? Here's one of my biggest pet peeves. Let me see your stick. All right, this is a girls' game thing, but also for the guys, but most of the guys, we do it. All right, so if I'm a girl and I'm playing like this, is there a check available? Why? And it's out and below our shoulder. Okay, ready? Watch this. So I'm checkable. Right now I'm checkable, correct? Okay, ready? Watch this. Am I checkable now? So I didn't move anywhere and I just have a bigger advantage now offensively without even moving. By choking up, we keep everything tight. Okay, does that make sense? I see tons and tons of girls dodging here. I would love to know if anybody can tell me some sort of strategic advantage to dodging with our hands here. You want more range, or do you want to be tighter and have actually less movement? Well, if we are here, they can check me, right? But if I'm here, I can't be checked. So I've never heard a good reason as to why we dodge here in girls. Not one single one. I've heard the triple threat position. I've heard that, okay? But what we're talking about is winning one-on-ones. So the triple threat situation is passed. If I get the ball from you, then I can be in triple threat because I might feed or I might shoot. But in our one-on-ones, there's only one threat right now. We got to win the matchup. Then draw a slide, then feed, and shoot. Okay, so we want to win the matchup. So in terms of winning our one-on-one matchup, let's be as uncheckable as possible. All right, here's another reason. If I'm going, we want to keep defenders honest, okay? We don't want to just be a right-handed player. We want to keep defenders honest. So if I'm a right-handed player, okay, and I want to go to my right and I keep my stick here, I'm easy to defend. I've got to keep them honest and make them think I might go left. We can do that multiple ways. We can actually go left, but the reality is a lot of them won't go left, even in this drill. They don't want to go left. They're not going to do it. Okay, so in order for me to go left, this stick must pass through this area. There is no way to go left without bringing this stick over there. If you did, it would look like this. That would be ridiculous, okay? In order to go left and keep people honest, I have to split. Where does the stick pass through? The center line, this area, okay? Face dodge, through the center area. Pull dodge, same thing as a face dodge, center area. Roll dodge, center area. So if the stick has to pass through that center area to make them think we got to go left, if we choke up and we keep our head, hands, and shoulders moving in this area, we're playing around on that center line, which as a defender, once I get to here, the idea of a split is real. The idea of a face dodge is real. So when people are just here and they do all this, again, some defenders are looking at just your stick. They're not going to believe that you might go left. And even if you were to go left from here, the stick has to pass from 2 o'clock to the other side when I could keep this nice and quick, okay? Another thing, I work with Ali Mastriani a lot. Her biggest pet peeve is that it's also just quicker. It's quicker, faster to split. Right here. Quicker exchanges, tighter exchanges, instead of being all the way out here and have to bring everything on long paths. Okay, does that make sense? Third thing, head, hands, and shoulders. You're going to be able to move your head, hands, and shoulders a lot quicker if everything is tighter. If I have here and I'm doing all this ball wants to go, especially in the girls' game. All right, so choke up, keep it tight. All right, does that make sense? All right, that's the big thing. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. We're going to change this drill, and we're going to talk about space and time. Okay, space and time. We're not talking about split dodge, roll dodge, face dodge, because none of that matters if you don't actually understand space and time. Okay, so any of you guys a defender? All right, go out there, buddy. We're going to get you first. All right, here we go. Hold on, I'm going to use your stick for a second. All right, stand at that blue cone for me. If I make a move here, does this bother you? Why not? What? I'm too far? I'm about to what? I got to run through? All right, if I make a move here, does this bother you based on where we are space-wise? Do you think I'm a little bit too far? If I make a move here, you're just going to catch me, right? All right, so if I make a move here, this is too far. This is irrelevant. You have the sickest split dodge in the world right here. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. We're too far away. All right, does that make sense? Are you a midi? Who's a midi here? All right, switch out. Good job. Ready? We'll ask you the same question. All right, does this bother you where I am? Because of why? Not close enough. Already, just watch her. Ready, watch her. Does this bother you if I make a move here? Not really. What if I make a move here? What if I make a move here? What about if I make a move here? Starting to bother you, right? Why? Because I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer, okay? So these cones are in that gray area. All right, that gray area is somewhere in here. It can be different for everybody. A deep hole is going to be out further. A longer reach, taller, athletic offensive player, they might be bothered here. Someone else might be bothered here, but somewhere in here is the gray area. Okay, that's the gray area. Our job is to find that gray area. If we get too close, you're going to get what? You're going to make contact, right? You make contact and jam them up. Okay, so we don't want to get too close, and we don't want to be too far away. So this area right here is the gray area that we're looking to work. All right, does that make sense? All right, let's go. You're going to stay there. All right, this is a drill I would do to kind of get my players to work through that. Okay, the key for me, though, is when I do this drill, you need to explain to your offensive player, these are not one-on-ones. I don't care if you beat her and get a shot off. What I want you to work on is your head, your hands, your shoulders, the footwork we just talked about, and closing this cushion. Okay, we call this close the cushion. This is the close the cushion drill. We have too much cushion, we need to close the cushion. If I were to just try and beat her by going to this way, exactly. It's a straight line. We don't want to play in straight lines. Straight lines are easy to defend, all right? So here's what we're going to do. You can grab a ball. When we hit these cones, all you guys, all right? When we hit the cones, we're trying to work the cones, head, hands, and shoulders, all right? You're going to face the goal. When you're ready to go, you say go. When he says go, you can turn around and play defense. But when you say go, you're going to close this cushion and break those cones down. All right, ready?
Go.
Go ahead. Good job. That's perfect. Ready? Now go back on D. You stay on D for a little bit for me. You're doing a good job. Ready? Whoop, turn that way. Call it. Good. Good. Switch out the D. You can play D now. All right? You got a ball? You don't even need a ball. Just practice the drill, no ball. Face that way. Call it. Choke up. Good. Ready? Next one.
Go.
Okay, good job. What we're doing here is we're learning how to close the cushion, but we're giving them a safe place to work on the techniques. I'm not worried about if the defender Ds them up. I'm not worried about these kids doing what they normally do, what their normal move is, whatever their go-to move is. I'm worried about them closing the cushion, touching the ground multiple times, using their head, hands, and shoulders to try and trigger reactions or false steps out of a defender. Okay, what is a false step? They could bite this way, you go that way. I bite this way, they go that way. We could lunge upfield. We always tell people don't poke and lunge, don't reach, but they're gonna. So if we can get them to poke and reach and lunge, we've got an advantage. We might see a drop step. We can attack that. Okay, here's another one. Girls want to tell their defenders to play tall, play big. Okay, it's like if you're on ball, I strongly disagree with playing big. I strongly disagree with it. Okay, here's why. Go ahead up there. Swatch out with her. She's got a ball. All right, ready? So look, I'm big on ball. I'm big on ball. Okay? The chances of me knocking down this pass are highly unlikely. So why are we playing the passing lane here? I've got to stop ball. She's the only thing I'm worried about is stopping ball. So playing big here, if she were to go, I've got to, number one, get small, and then I got to find my stick. So I have a lot of things I need to do in order to stop ball. If I don't stop ball, especially in the girls' game, they're going to get to the cage. They're going to get fouled, 8-meter, all that good stuff, okay? So when we go tall on ball, okay, my Dodgers know if they see a defender that's playing tall, we're attacking them immediately. We know they have 2 or 3 things they have to do before they can even play defense, okay? So when we're going, ready, if we see someone going from tall to small, we're attacking. Where's my weight sinking? Into my heels. I'm not ready to go yet. So you should be attacking them, catch them in their heels. All right, does that make sense? All right. Let's go here. Whose stick was this? Good job. All right, so now, okay, you take this drill here. We talk about space and time, okay? If they're constantly getting contacted, they're getting too close. If they're making their move too deep and you're telling them they need to close the cushion a little bit more, okay? The next progression to this drill would be to let them change the angles offensively, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk, we call this slide them and leave them, okay? Slide them and leave them. The important piece is to learn about this drill. Let me see the ball stick for a second. The important piece here is to understand you're still closing the cushion no matter what. If I slide to here, freeze, stay on that cone for me. Good job. If I slide to here, I have a clear-cut lane to the cage, right? There's nothing obstructing me from the goal, correct? Okay, so you know the saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is? Okay, ready? You're on defense on that cone. Every time I take a step, you take a step. All right, I'm going to go towards the goal, which is clearly unobstructed, clear lane. Every time I take a step, you take a step. Ready? Easy work. It's too good to be true. So what we need to do is I have a cushion here. I need to close this cushion to get to there. Now, if I close here, I can 1, 2, 3, and then I have a step on them to that lane. We're closing the cushion. We're squaring them up, okay? She's going to stay there as long as I close this cushion. That's advantage offense. I know where you're going to be. You're going to be there because I'm closing the cushion. You wouldn't jump there right now, would you? You wouldn't jump there right now, would you? Why not? I'm right here, right? Does that make sense? So I know where she's going to be because I'm closing the cushion. So in this drill, we're going to start the same way. You're going to face the opposite way, okay? And here's what we're going to do. As soon as we say go offensively, we can slide and change the point of attack, and then we can close the cushion. Now I remove the cones. This is where you're testing your athletes. We took away the visual where they stare down, and that gives them a cue to do it. We still want them to work on that technique. So I don't want you to slide here and then run up to her and just pump fake and go. That's not what we're working on. We're closing the cushion. We're touching the ground multiple times. We're working our head, hands, and shoulders. All right, does that make sense? Face that way. You can go left or right. Watch your stick, buddy. Close the cushion. Good job. Look at that. Did you get beat on purpose? Why did you jump that way? She made you move that way. She triggered a reaction, right? All right, next person on D. You were just on O, you go on D now. You're up. Remember, you can go either way. You can grab that ball if you want. Don't matter. Good. Call it and slide. Now close that cushion. There you go. Good. That's good. That's good. All right, so look, when we got to here, this is where we need to picture the cones on the ground. We want to give her something more to react to versus a one-step move. All right, does that make sense? Now you're on D. You're up. We don't even need a ball. You're good. Choke up. Choke up. Choke up on your stick. All the way to the top. Yep, be uncheckable. Ready, go. Good job. All right, ready? Next one. So we're changing the point of attack. We're changing angles. Ready, go. All right, good. All right, ready? One more. One more for you. You're on D. She'll call it. Good. All right, now let's have you back out because you were the first one. All right, pay attention. This is what I want you to understand. Offensively, we're in control at all times, especially in the girls' game. We are always in control, okay? I'm going to slide you left, and I'm going to leave you left, okay? I'm going to slide you left. Or you can do whatever you want. You can play defense all you want. You can pretend like you're playing me for the game winner. But I'm going to slide you left and leave you left. All right, does that make sense? You heard what I said? You got me? All right, here we go. Ready? Turn around. Ready? Go. Which way did I move you? Point. That's my left. So I slid you to my left, and then I left you left. Does that make sense? Because every reaction I make causes a reaction. We didn't practice this, did we? No? No. Say no, because we didn't. No. We didn't practice this. But I told you what I was going to do to you, and then I was able to get that. Because every action we make offensively causes a reaction. All right, if I understand that my movements are going to trigger reactions, that sets me up for offense in a better, more advantageous way. Does that make sense? No, my left. I'm going to slide you left and leave you left. Here, I'll get you again. Ready? I'll slide you right and leave you left. All right? I'll slide you to my right and leave you to my left. Ready? Go. Which way did I move you? Got you again. Right? So we can tell them what we want all the time. Action, reaction. That's how it works. Okay, so does that make sense? We're changing the angles. We're controlling the situation. We're not just going straight at them all the time. We're creating advantage. We're searching for what we want offensively, whether it's based on what you want or whether it's what your team wants or your offense wants. But our actions create reactions. So we need to understand that and try and trigger those reactions with our movements. Head, hands, and shoulders, keeping it tight, close the cushion, touching the ground multiple times. All right, does that make sense? Every time we touch the ground, we have the opportunity to change direction when we see them bite on something. If we're only touching the ground once, we got a 50-50. It either worked or it didn't work. Does that make sense? So we're touching the ground multiple times, and we're learning about space and time. All right, we call this here the point of attack. Your job is to win the point of attack so that you draw a slide, create rotation, and create offense for your team, okay? One of the things I say at a lot of my clinics is you guys are going to head at some point to college showcases. You're going to spend an absurd amount of money to be seen amongst an absurd amount of people, okay? And then you want to cut through the 8, and you want to catch, and you want to finish, and then you want to take that clip and put it on your highlight reel. It's not a highlight. It's not a highlight. Where you're trying to go, everybody can do that. Every defender can cut through the 8, catch an open pass, and finish. It's not a highlight. It's the requirements of the job. It's the requirements of playing high-level lacrosse. You should be able to catch and finish. You know who's really getting recruited? The person who won their matchup, drew your defender, and got you open. That's who's getting recruited. They can create offense. This is just a finisher. This is stick skills. I caught a ball, and I was in front of the cage. I took my 4-inch ball, I threw it in my 6-foot goal, and I got it by my unpadded goalie. Big whoop. Nice job. My goalies can do that. My goalies can do that. They're not Dodgers for a reason. So we have to work on these concepts so that we create more confidence in our ball carriers, so that they understand when it's ISO time what their job is, how to do it, give them the skills to do it, to create the false step, to gain the advantage, to draw a slide, to put a defense in rotation, to create offense for the team. All right, does that make sense? And just going to a dodging clinic and teaching them to split dodge, roll dodge, face dodge, I don't know that you're helping. Because they can split dodge right here all day and I'm going to D them up because they don't understand space and time. They can split dodge up there, it's too far away. They don't understand space and time. All right, does that make sense? So very rarely at my clinics will I say, you must split dodge, or we're working on our split dodge here. It's up to you. Whatever move you want to do, I don't know that a split dodge is a requirement. I'm a right-handed player, I play box. I don't know the last time I split, but I can get to the cage, I can create advantage, I can get my hands free, I can create offense. So I don't know that I need a left hand. We can argue about that all day long, right? But they can do that on their own. But you're going to these clinics and they're teaching you the same 4 or 5 moves that my dad taught me 20 years ago. All right, the game is advanced, all right? So in drills like this, we're teaching them the movement patterns, what to work on. We're specifically saying head, hands, and shoulders. This is where you need to know your athlete. If your athletes come up and do this drill and they continue to do the same thing you've been seeing them to do, that's your job to say, hey, I already know you can do that. Let's try and break it down a little bit more. Work your head, hands, and shoulders and choke up. Let's see if we can create some range in your game. Don't just do what you normally do. And here's the problem. As soon as we go to practice and we say, hey, we're doing one-on-ones, every one of those players is going to revert back to what they're comfortable in, what they're confident in. They don't want to drop the ball. They don't want to mess up. They don't want to look bad. They don't want to get D'd up. What they want to do is have a safe, confident rep, which means they're going to stay in their lane. They're not going to try new things in front of the club coach unless the club coach is telling them to try new things. They're going to try and impress the club coach. They're going to try and impress their high school coach. They're going to try and impress the people that choose the lineups in the playing time. They're going to do whatever it is that's going to make them look good and successful. So where are they learning new stuff? When's the last time you guys went out in the park and played pickup basketball? Never. So you just do whatever the coach tells you to do all the time. That's how it works. Right? So we've got to find ways to encourage them to try new techniques, but in a safe environment. So when I'm at my high school practice, I know what they do, but we're going to do this drill. And if I see Stella doing the same old move that she's been doing 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, I'm going to say to her, hey, that's gotten you here. What's going to get you to expand your game? These are the types of movements and drills that are going to teach them different skills, and then it's their job to figure out the 2 or 3 things that work for them or that they liked and start to build them into their regular practice techniques. Okay, I tell people all the time in my clinics, you're not really going to get better in a 2-hour clinic with me. It's just a 2-hour clinic. You walk out the door and never do this again. You did not advance your game. You need to pick 2 or 3 things that you like that you could start to build into your regular workouts, your regular practices, and you need to find a time to try it, okay? And so when you go to club practice, I talk about this. There's always a defender on the other team you know you can beat. You know you can beat her. You've been doing it for years. Or beat him. You've been doing it for years. That's the person to try it out on. Give them something different than your same old move that's going to get you a goal, and everyone's going to clap for you because you beat your girl in one-on-one and got a goal. Try something different, because if you mess up, shouldn't matter. All right, does that make sense? But when I go and work with people on a regular basis like this, they go to practice, I'm not trying that. My coach will scream at me. If I drop that ball, I'll be in trouble. I'm not in the starting lineup. I'm just trying to get in the starting lineup. They're not going to try new things. It's not going to happen. They're going to try new things at a showcase? No way. They're not going to try new things at a college camp? No way. But they've got to try new things at some point, or they're just going to be a one-trick pony, and they'll get moved to defense, or they'll end up being midi number 5. Okay, let's talk about midi number 5. Midi number 5 sees the field when you're up. You're up a couple goals, got some cushion, so midi number 5 gets on the field. Midi number 5 does not get on the field when it's 6-6 with 5 minutes left. Midis 1, 2, and 3 are playing because they're 1, 2, and 3. So if you were midi number 5 last year on your team and you didn't do anything extra from then till now, you're probably coming back as midi number 5. Because you and all the other 5 middies go to the same practices, go to the same club practices, and go to the same clinics. So you're all advancing at the same rate. So how did you surpass middies number 4, 3, 2, or 1? You didn't. You have to do something extra. You've got to be doing something extra to advance your game. Okay, these are the drills that are going to help you advance. You come back next year and the coach is going to be like, wow, I always saw you as a cutter inside the A and you're a really good finisher, but now you're out on the perimeter dodging. Guess what? you've advanced your game. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions so far? Any questions on the individual aspect?
Can you break down the footwork of the cone work that they were doing? Like, for example, when they're dodging, I know you say keep it tight and in, but are they on the inside of the balls of their feet? Some kids were flat-footed.
So this is the way I would say it, okay? You're trying to touch the ground multiple times, okay? If you're flat-footed, you're not, if like general speed and agility techniques would apply here, right? Balls of your feet, we're trying to touch the ground. At any time we're touching the ground and we see the reaction we want, we've got to be able to change direction and take advantage of that. So I don't want to be flat-footed, I don't want to be heavy-footed, but that's why you're working on it, because some of the kids that are heavy-footed now and are on the flat feet, they're not going to, where are they getting better? What drill are you teaching them to stay on the balls of their feet more? Where would that happen? You could happen right here, right? Does that make sense? The other thing I want to tell you about these cones is this, all right, ready? How many steps of space is this? 1 step of space. I took 1 step of space, right? We all agree this is 1 step of space. This is really what we're trying to get them to understand. It's 1 step of space in real life if we're talking literally. But with this 1 step of space, I can do whatever I want. I could be a 1-step player and take off. I could be a 1-2 player, take off. We talked about the 3-step. I could be a 1-2-3, take off. I could be a 1-2, hesitate, 3-4, go. I could take 6 steps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go. There's a million unlimited options in this space. That's how we learn how to work space and time. It's 1 step of space, but we can do whatever we want with it. Does that make sense? And this isn't your move. Okay, I'm not replacing split dodge, roll dodge, face dodge. Your move is here, takes place here. I don't care what your move is. But this is where we're closing that cushion and we're setting them up for the split. Okay, we're rocking, we got our head, hands, and shoulders, and when one of my actions triggers a reaction, I've got to be able to read that and go, okay? Reading our defender, that doesn't happen in one-on-ones. You're not reading your defender, you're just trying to survive the rep. In these drills, we're closing the cushion, we're reading the defender, we're looking for reactions to create separation. Does that make sense? Anyone else? Questions about this aspect so far? Where are we at on time? Perfect. Are we good? All right, here's what we're going to do, okay? So this is one of my biggest, let's go, let's have you guys up here. Let me get one person behind the cage. Okay, let's get one person up here in this corner. Let's get one person behind the cage. We'll just call these the defender's feet right here. Okay, I would put a hurdle there, or I like this, okay? This is not just something I use because it looks cool. I don't get paid by them. None of that nonsense, okay? Why do I use this? Okay, because if I put the cones on the ground in this drill, and this person gets too close and makes their move over these cones, we didn't help them understand spatial awareness, okay? So this is my, what's that say? Pop-up defender. This helps you understand space and time. It's really simple. If you get too close to this dummy defender, you probably get too close to a real defender. So if you get up here and you're splitting right in front of this, what, you're going to get D'd up. You're too close. So your job here, okay, you're going to start back here. You're going to do exactly what we just worked on, but now we need to take a big picture. Okay, so you're going to go here. You're going to break this person down. You're going to run down the side, and you're going to pass it to the person at X. All right, don't go yet, though. All right, you're over here. You're going to be my defender. Actually, you're here. You're going to be right there. Okay, so let's talk about one-on-ones. Okay, how do we teach one-on-ones? We do 4 corners. We do all these ridiculous one-on-one drills where literally 2 athletes are working. Very inefficient. Very inefficient. And yeah, you're working on one-on-ones, but then you still have to teach team concept. So in this drill, we're going to get our one-on-ones and our shake school all on the same drills. Okay, so let's have you. You're going to be my defender. Okay, you're going to start right here. As soon as she passes the ball to her, you can play defense however you want, whatever that looks like to you, okay? You go straight to X. Okay, so now we've got an opportunity for the athlete to work very safely. Nothing can go wrong here. You're not going to get D'd up. You're not going to get your hands slashed. No one's playing one-on-one here. So you're just working your technique, and then you're going to run down the side, and we're going to move it twice, okay? Good lacrosse offense. Dodge, move it twice, dodge again. So front side ISO is actually going to set up our backside ISO. So while this guy is running an ISO, We got our goalie yelling, watch the ISO, watch the ISO. And then all the defense like, watch the ISO. And then all your coaches are like, watch the ISO. And then all the parents are like, watch the ISO, watch the ISO. So we all know the ISO's coming. So all the defense is here. We're all looking here. But really, that's the offense that's about to happen over there. Front side offense sets up the backside offense. Dodge, move it twice. You've probably heard it in multiple presentations over forever. It's good offense. It's good spacing. So we get to work that team concept into our one-on-one drill. That's a live one-on-one. And this is a skill-building one-on-one. All right, does that make sense? Okay, so when we're going through here, and then you can just jump in right in behind him. All right, ready? Break this person down. Don't get too close to the dummy defender. And make a nice pass to X. Nice and easy passes. We're inside tight space. Ready, go. It's going to be a split dodge. Here we go. Boom. Oh, make your dodge there. So you want to split that, right? You're going to go down the right side. Now we have our one-on-one over here. That's fine. Yep, you go ahead. Okay, perfect. So let's see what we did. We had a practice rep. He got to work on his technique. We got a one-on-one here, and she did exactly what we've been working on. She closed the cushion. She broke it down. She got her one-on-one. All right, let's move to the next spot. So now you're at X. You're going to pass to here. Okay, you're going to dodge. You can come out. You can go up there. You're on D. You're on D now. All right, ready? Oh, let me get you a ball. Ready? Go ahead. Break them down. Close the cushion. Chop it up. Nice shot. Move that to X. That's all right. Nice little pass up. And now here's our live one-on-one. Good. All right, so we allow our athletes to learn, and then we get them to apply. They get a real rep here one-on-one, they get a safe rep there, and they're learning team offense. So while you guys are doing four-corner one-on-ones, and you got 2 people working and 18 people watching, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people working. I'm checking off your one-on-one drill, and I'm also starting to learn my offense in a larger scale. I'm 3 times ahead of you in the same amount of time you guys are doing four-corner one-on-ones. See how efficient we can be? We can build this all together, okay? If I was team offensive coaching these guys here, okay, well, one thing I see a lot is just too much work at X, okay, especially in the girls' game because there's 2 people back here. So we see people coming here and going close to the ball because you guys are like, go to the ball, go to the ball, go to the ball. So now I've come to the ball. I traveled 6 yards this way. I catch here. I got to retravel those 6. Then I got to travel 4 or 5 more just to get the ball. So we're running 18 yards to get that person the ball. And if I'm playing an offense here, we're trying to get ahead of the game. All right, I'm in for you, buddy. All right, I'm deep at X. I got my stick to the side that I'm going, and I'm going to ask my dodger, don't throw until I tell you. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, freeze. Goalie can't pick this off, put it here. Catch. I just saved myself 12 yards, 18 yards, 4 or 5 seconds, which sets this guy up better. Because if it takes me 12, 15 yards in 4 or 5 seconds, that means everybody that was like, watch the ISO, watch the ISO. Now they realize that's not the ISO, and now we've all shifted this way, and now we're ready for this ISO. We want to be ahead of the defense and ahead of the slide. So in this drill, again, she gets to work on her dodging. Everybody else was passing from up here. This is an easy goalie steal. We want to carry down, because from there to here is still a good shot. All right, so we want to carry down lower, and then we want to put that ball on the front side of the X player so they can cheat 12 yards here and get the ball to the backside quicker, faster. Okay, this drill here can be changed over and over and over again based on your offense. Okay, we could take this shake school station, we could put it here. We could put the transition player there, and we could set up an ISO at X. So we could have one player here, breaking down the cones. Then they go to the right, we move it to you, that person catches and throws, that's the live ISO. Dodge, move it twice, set up the backside. Front side offense sets up the backside offense. So you can tailor this type of drill to whatever offense you're doing. Okay, you could go, we run a lot of 2-man game. We could go pass down, pick down, but this is like a dummy defender here. Close the cushion, top side, pass, pass. We can get 2-man, move it, set up the ISO. So you can change this format to whatever offensive team concept you're trying to build your players into while giving them a safe place to try new techniques, to expand the range of their game, to make them a much more well-rounded offensive player instead of a one-trick pony. Does that make sense? Any questions? Questions? Oop. Any about the shake school drills? Okay, what we're trying to do is really just give them more and more tools, more and more concepts, different techniques. Okay, a lot of times these kids don't realize how many more things and techniques and movement patterns they can work on until we show it to them. All right, does that make sense? Question?
I had a question about this player here. Do you want them to be cutting across and asking for the ball as that player is coming up with the ball, or do you want them to stay up here so defense doesn't crowd them?
So if I was doing this with my kids, great question. I wouldn't have them camping there like that, no. I would actually have this person right in here next to the defender, and as the ball gets to X, I would have them popping to off ball so that they work, you could V-cut, whatever it is you're teaching off ball, but no, I would not have them necessarily stationary unless they were younger so that we can get it to them in a safe place. But as they get older, more advanced techniques and concepts would apply here. And no, my offensive player would not be standing there just stationary. So I would come in, sometimes we say we're gonna come in and we're gonna come in and we're gonna bump. Right, we'll bump and then we'll push off and get out or whatever it is. Or maybe we just start here and we work in a mirror game. So some of our offense has a mirror. So we might work mirror, mirror, mirror. And then when she starts to look at the ball, we can pop off. So you can apply more advanced concepts here 100%. Yep, good question. Anything else? All of these drills, tons more, all available in an app. So what you guys took here, you're gonna go home and try and teach it to your kids. Or we've got tons and tons of workouts and drills that go far beyond 3 cones on the ground. Tons of movement techniques, tons of different scenarios and movement patterns, all inside an app. So instead of your kids dumping the ball bag out and going and working on Twizzlers for an hour, tell them to log into the app, pick 3 drills, actually work on some real things, then hit their Twizzlers and BTBs. You can make their time in the backyard so much more efficient. If you're a coach, this is what a lot of coaches and clubs do. They put a whole club in a Shake School membership. They buy it for their whole club so they can give it to every single kid. So think about your club season. You got Tuesday practice, Thursday practice, 2 days a week. What are they doing on Wednesday? I don't know, maybe nothing. You can also send an email and say, hey, get in the chat in the Shake School app, hit up workout number 5 on a Wednesday because we're gonna talk about it and do it on Thursday. So instead of coming to practice and spending 20 minutes to talk about this and then 20 minutes of reps or 40 minutes into practice, you could be sending this stuff out to them ahead of time saying, check the app, at least watch the video. You don't have to go do it, but watch the video, listen to Casey explain it to you. We're gonna do this tomorrow, and now they already have an idea of what they're doing or what they're gonna do. All right, that's for the athlete. Inside the app, we also have these drills, these 3-man patterns for coaches. We have an entire coaches section in there. I'll teach you offenses I run. I'll teach a defense, a double backer defense, drills to help you build those offense. It's all in the app. All right, does that make sense? If you have any questions, I'll be over at the table. We can talk further. I can show you how the app works. You can scroll through it and look at all of the things in there. And we add stuff to that almost weekly, monthly. So that app continues to grow. It's a really cool community in there. So we did a 7-man man-to-man defensive presentation a couple weeks ago. There's D3 coaches in there saying, hey, we're running this type of offense. I have some questions. You can just write in the comment in the community, and then I see it. Other coaches are responding, and then I can also say, yeah, I'll get you some video of that scenario so that you can see and answer those questions. So it's a really cool community in there where it's not just me giving this to you and you guys go do it, but we're all bouncing stuff off each other, and we're continuing to learn and add content into that app. All right, think about the lacrosse convention, but in your phone. That keeps growing every single day. All right, any other questions? All right, thank you guys, appreciate it. Good job. Good job. Thank you guys. You guys are crucial, nice job. Where you at? Don't leave me hanging.